Good afternoon and welcome to another 5 minutes with Darush Attar-Zadeh, who's a clinical pharmacist, and he's got many other hats that he wears. And I would love you to introduce yourself, Darush, and obviously we're joined by Adrian, who is part of the Awake Check. He's leading the research Awake Check team. Okay. So I'll hand over to you, Darush, and you can tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Phyllis, Adrian, for the invitation. So I'm Darush. I'm a pharmacist. I'm based over in northwest London. As you say, I've got quite a few different roles. Currently chair of the Primary Care Respiratory Society, and I'm also actively involved in as a clinical pharmacist over in northwest London, community pharmacy background, and I get heavily involved in lots of education with clinicians and also people living with lung conditions in particular. But of course now, you know, I think the importance of prevention has been a big part of my role as well. Treating tobacco dependence for the last 25 years has been a big part of my role. So that's prevention, I think, is always better than cure, trying to be proactive in our care of people so they can live good lives.
Yeah, thank you for that. I think what's been interesting just recently is we've had some really good prevalence data from other parts of the world about sleep apnea in itself, and a lot of the work led by Adam Benjafield, who is on part of the research team, but we don't really have good prevalence data for the UK. I think British Lung Foundation maybe did some work back in 2014, but it's been a long time, and we think that up to 85% of patients may be undiagnosed with sleep apnea, and 10 to 16% may actually have insomnia or more. So we're just exploring the role of community pharmacy and whether they, as the frontline people, may be somebody that would want to or could develop skills and knowledge, core competence around about that. So just interested in your thoughts on that particular direction of travel.
I think it makes complete sense. I think community pharmacy for quite a while, especially in the United Kingdom, is they've been moving towards becoming like well-being centres where we can actually really get to not just giving out prescriptions and selling over-the-counter remedies. We're heavily involved in exploring what's going on in people's lives, asking questions, making every contact count. So I think we do a lot around very brief advice on smoking cessation or whether people want to take up their vaccinations, etc. I think once we explore what a person's going through, for example, they may be talking about fatigue throughout the daytime, or the partners might be coming in with some individuals saying that sleep is disturbed and or the snoring, etc. I think if there's a structured template and questionnaire of some sort that could be used to identify if a person's at risk, because sleep apnea, there are risks, and I don't think the awareness is out there. And I think if we're doing routine blood pressure monitoring, routine smoking cessation clinics, I think there's lots of places
management.
Yeah, we can really get involved.
Yeah. I posted a clinical paper just yesterday from very recently, and it was a guy called Cade, and he actually has done a big study and has identified that sleep apnea symptoms and leading up to it can actually be there 10 years before it's even diagnosed. It was quite astounding, the data that I've just read in that paper. So I think what we're doing with the Awake Check study is something that is really important. If we can get the numbers, we will be able to talk about the word prevalence. Do you want to come in, Adrian, and maybe talk a wee bit about the Awake Check?
Absolutely. There's two things there that I thought. The point of the prevalence information that we have and some of the more recent stuff we've seen is from GP recognized, but there's the whole, you know, the community pharmacy typically is before that. So to have to be talking prevalence in terms of GP diagnosed, well, the problem I suspect, and we don't know, and that's why we're doing the Awake Check, may be far larger. And there are people that choose to go to the community pharmacy and don't go to the GP, or there's the opportunity and the geographic reach of community pharmacy. Anyway, yeah, the Awake Check combines the Stop Bang and the Insomnia Severity Index, and to assess and give an individual their own instant results in terms of their risk of sleep apnea and their risk of insomnia. It's a beginning, and then it signposts off to free resources. It's a lead generation tool for pharmacy and the general medical practitioner to have a conversation, start the ball rolling. And then in the research side of it, trying to get to how common these symptoms are across the UK. That's it.
So, we have just over 1,200 that have actually participated since the 1st of October. So the numbers are coming in, Darush, and it is certainly starting to resonate with some people. I think that this is a free check, is fast, and they get immediate feedback. So
pharmacy can take the lead on this. We have posters on the website to download, pop it up with a QR code to, people can scan it and do it, and then it comes with a result at the end screen, the last screen. There it is. That's your calculated risk. Have a conversation. Talk to your healthcare professional, your pharmacist, your GP. Talk to them. Start the ball rolling.
Have you any thoughts on how we might be able to get that wider spread out there into the whole of the 4 countries of the UK, Darush? It's just one of these things that, we've tried. It's totally unfunded, so we don't have any finance behind this. So we're all doing this in our spare time.
Because it needs to be done.
Yeah.
It needs to be done. I think that awareness piece around how problematic it can be, because I think there's going to be a lot of people out there. If you don't know what you don't know, then what are you going to do? But if the awareness does arise that actually this is a big problem, that actually can have consequences to not only our patients but also our own family members as well. If we start talking about it like this, word can obviously spread. But we also need to think about what can be done in 30 seconds, because that's sometimes how long we might have to. And if we've got good, clear QR code type information, that's really easy.
Do you snore? There you go. That didn't take 30 seconds. Do you snore? Do you have difficulty staying awake when you should be alert? That's a good one. Do you struggle to either go to sleep, stay asleep, or wake up too early? Now, I did that in well inside 30 seconds. There you go. On that note, come on, Phyllis. This is 5 minutes. Darush, it's ever so nice to meet you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for talking to us today, Darush. And we will meet again at the PCRS.
Looking forward to it, Phyllis.
Of the year. I'm looking forward to it too. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you again. Bye-bye.
Bye.